Let's go with salt water. I'm not trying to risk anything here. 43 kilos of natural gas already. That's amazing. And I don't even have these guys running. But yeah, we should consider this. We don't really want... No, we kind of do want insulated. So I'm just going to set these ones up, but I'm not going to connect them yet. So this is just a preparation for if I ever need this, I'll have it already. Alright, is our volcano coming off? In about a minute and 20 seconds. Then we get to see this magical thing happen. So, what did you guys build tonight on your stream? I peeked in for like 2 minutes. I didn't really get to have that much time on. I was like looking if anybody was on right before I was like streaming or started streaming. And I saw you, and I think there was 2 others. I think it was a German streamer, and I don't know who else was on. Oh, oil for the first time. Did you succeed? Alright, so the heat's here. So see, now we have a lot of heat in here, right? So right side plate is super hot, 1600. Left side plate, about 300, right? So transfer from right side to left side, right? So right now, when the door is open, there's no heat transfer. So right side plate's hot, left's cold. Now, when the door closes, the heat transfer happens between right and left. That means it allows transfer of heat. And it's kind of hard to see, but like if I keep hovering here, see now you see like when the door closes, it basically transfers heat from the right to the left. And then the heat drops on the left until the steam room gets to a point where it's like happy, right? So when I say by happy, I mean 175. Heat transfer, and it's really quick because these ones are like 1,000, right? And then this side is like 200. But it's one way of basically transferring. You got Amasuta, very nice. But you didn't quite get it set up? Yeah, Amasuits are a good thing. Excuse me. Like, I think we have enough for 16, or at least I left room for 16. But yeah, I don't know, like, I like having base boxes. Like, some people build these, other people don't. I like base boxes just because they give you more control. So basically what a base box is like, everything here is basically Atmo suits. And then if they want to do anything outside the base box, they basically have to be in Atmo suits. It basically prevents you from having multiple Atmo suit stations all over the place and having to deal with gases in certain areas. Like, I don't want these deeps down here doing weirdo random shit. Okay, what is happening here? I gotta set these to sweep only. They just keep picking up the ice that's falling out. Like, just let the ice melt. Growth halted. Why? Pressure. Oh, are we having pressure issues down here? What is happening? Oh, it's because of the polluted oxygen's coming in now and kind of cutting us off here. Well, well, well. This carbon dioxide needs to go down, my friends. Not up. Okay, we're gonna have to do a little bit of change here just to make this happen. Really no good solution to this, but I just want to make sure the carbon dioxide can go down here. Oh yeah, but this is working really well now, and this should keep us heated for a while, and then eventually this will solidify, and then we'll have to come in here and actually like dig it out. Steel, yeah, steel can be tough. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't have power up here right now. I actually do. I'm glad you said something about it. Because yeah, we need to revamp our power over here. Just gonna do like that. I don't know if we still need this pump. I don't think we do. Well, actually, we kind of still do. But that's okay, we can bridge, right? So we bridge power, we deconstruct. We'll bring this up here, and then we can have our steel running again. These guys need to go. We were running coal, but we were kind of out of coal. I don't know if we have any coal now again. We should. Yeah, but like half a ton of coal is not a whole lot to work with. But yeah, Abasuits are good. Steel is great. Having steel for builds, especially anything that's heat related, absolutely amazing. You always want to be like careful with it though, right? Because like steel's kind of a commodity in one way or another. So you want to make sure that when you're using steel that you don't use it as a repair. Yeah, steam power. Sorry. I know I keep saying sorry, but it's just like can't do anything about it. Somebody made a mess. Why? Oh, buddies, what's wrong with the toilets? There's nothing wrong with the toilets. Why are you peeing? What's wrong with you? I don't understand. Okay, I need to find these guys something to do though. Right there. Actually, we could just keep going here. Just need to keep these guys busy. Oh, do not go through there. You're banned. Banned for life. Just need to keep these guys busy. But yeah, if we can get this thing bring up. Yeah, almost there. Let's do this. Let's do that. And we actually have this set up again. And we'll run some steam through this. Some steel. Yeah, I'm using this really cold biome over here, which is going to basically keep this cold forever. Like I don't think I'm ever gonna have to, deal with it any other time. Like you can do steam refineries into like a steam room, works great, absolutely great. But you could also do just like this, right? So I have a bunch of aluminum tiles here, which are really high in conductivity. So when the liquid comes out, it comes out at about 129 right now, right? And then we have a bunch of copper segments in here. And you can kind of see, like, so with the first tile, we're losing about 30 degrees. Second tile, about the same. And then by the time we go back in, we're down to 50. Alright, so I'm basically I have this huge cold biome over here, right? It's still like negative 100 over here. That's basically just deleting that heat, that heat, and then we're just keep doing it. Just let this run. We might actually want to put more naphtha in here. How much naphtha is actually in here? Right, and then also it depends on like what liquid you're using, right? So in your particular case, you're probably going to be running it with crude oil. If you're running it with like water, it's going to be tough, right? Because you have to make sure that the water doesn't get too hot. If you use something like crude oil, right? Crude oil, which is, do I even have any crude oil? I don't think I do. I might have some somewhere. But yeah, crude oil has, turns into petroleum at 390. So like you got room if you're doing steel, right? As long as you cool it somehow, it's fine. But yeah, I just decided to use environmental cooling here, basically, instead of, something we're using like an aqua tuner or something to cool down the liquid. And I know this will work, right? And this is just from experience. I just know that this, I had to fine tune this a little bit to make sure it doesn't freeze. But yeah, I had a shit ton of naphtha from my little mishap over here. But yeah, I just use naphtha. Naphtha's another good one. I can't actually, top of my head, I don't actually know what naphtha's values are. Yeah, naphtha turns into sour gas with 538, and it freezes at negative 50. So you got some room to work with. Yeah, you can cool with oil. Oil is not the best. Neither is petroleum, but the nice thing is it has a high enough um, specific heat capacity, as in like how much heat it can take, and that's kind of the important factor there is, right? Like it has a good enough spectrum on it's not gonna become a gas and it's not gonna freeze, right? So you have about a 400-degree range or something like that, as well as it can absorb a decent enough amount of heat for the amount of mass that oil has, right? Um, like water and polluted. I think polluted water is probably better, but the problem with polluted water obviously is at like 120 or something C, it it boils in the game. So okay, I'm a little confused as to no, you got water. Oh, you don't have water in here. Oh yeah. I messed up. We need sand. We don't have sand here. Okay, so I have a sand problem here, and I'm gonna solve this, and I'm gonna try to solve it with some automation. Um, and if you haven't ever run into sand issues, I'll show you how to solve your sand issues. Oh, you're taken out? All right, no worries, no worries. You are good, and I appreciate you stopping by. I appreciate you bringing all the raiders. And I'm sorry for all the coughing. I hope it wasn't too bad. And hey, man, I wish you all the fun with Oni, because Oni is a great game. There's not enough people playing it. If you can get more people interested in the game, that's amazing. Because I feel like this is one of those really, really underrated games. I know it can be like overwhelming to people, and people are like, yeah, it's a little too much for me, and like dealing with all this stuff, but it's all about learning, right? Like you learn how to deal with one problem, and then you learn how to deal with the next problem, and you kind of do it as you're going through it, right? All right, I just want to get this. So we're gonna put a pressure plate here, and we're gonna say like if it's below, if it's below 1 ton, right? So we're gonna cancel the sweep, and we're just gonna say I just need to sweep this one tile, and then once this tile is swept, right? So right now there's 3.5 tons on it. We're basically gonna sweep this empty, and we're gonna set this entire rock crusher to basically do sand forever. So then the only thing that's gonna land here is sand, right? Because nothing else really should be unless somebody runs over it. But hypothetically, would only be sand that's laying here. So then we set this rock crusher to say like, hey, you're gonna do sand forever. But obviously, once this hits, 1 ton of sand right here, then it'll stop. So that's how you can kind of keep like sand around forever. But first we gotta sweep this empty, otherwise they're gonna start working and making sand here forever, and that's not really what we want yet. We will definitely take the lime, because free lime's always good. We're getting more natural gas, that's amazing. We should have gotten our power set up here, right? Yes, we did. Very nice. We got power over here. We should actually start considering some research again. We should also consider... we should also consider some power for our base. Kind of split that off. We already got those off. These ones are on the outside, just so that we don't heat the inside. And these ones are just for a gym. These guys are just for running. Our actual base power is right here. But with this in place, we'll now be pulling directly off the main branch, which is great. Let's see what else we can do. We should definitely pull power here for this. I'll get rid of this. Actually, we'll leave that because I don't want them to be going in there. They get kind of radiation sick. I don't want to get rid of this and that. this side. Actually, we will rip this up. Just because it's cleaner. Just for anybody that might not be so familiar with cable salads. And then we're going to slap power cable right here. And bring this over. And I kind of want you guys to prioritize just this portion right there. Okay, I'm confused. Oh, you're still doing it because you still haven't figured this out. Okay. Right, so now it's under, and now we say priority 9, sedimentary rock, sand forever. So now, hypothetically, this should be a relatively high error, and then eventually they should get to that. What are you doing? Sedimentary? Are you building? Okay. I mean, I don't really care that these guys are peeing over here. It does create germs, but the germs are pretty low. Then I'm not too worried about it. So now, Bonnie starts working on making sand. And that's basically to keep our sieves going, because yeah, now that we have some sand going, we actually have our toilet going again, and then our toilet's going to be fine. And this is basically going to happen until, you know, your target is reached, right? So if I set this to 500, then that means, you know, there will always be an X amount of sand, hypothetically. As long as this machine gets worked on, there will always be sand. Oh, so this is solidified. We're going to go in. Actually, we're not going to go in yet. This still has enough heat to draw. What's wrong with you? Oh, we're not actually transferring enough heat anymore. Okay. Let's go 185. Are you actually? Oh yeah, you're still at 200. Okay, so we need to equalize energy here. I mean, we need to equalize temperature in this place. We'll do that with whatever we have most of. Granite, sedimentary rock. Okay. So we'll do it like that. So right now we only have one steam turbine running, and that's mostly because the heat's over here, and not so much over here. And we have a lot of water down here. We're like, oh shit, we lost pretty much all our steam. We still need to work on this. Okay, so this is done. Rip that up. Do another scaffolding here. So now we should hopefully see a little more heat transfer from the right to the left. And we're also still struggling with gases here, apparently. This syngas is just really annoying. Which is, oh my god, this is a Christmas tree. I wish I had a good solution here, but I don't. Can we put any more up here? Yes, we can. Okay. Big boy cable. Small boy cable. Small boy cables. Hopefully we can deal with some of this polluted oxygen. What happened here? Oh, right. Water goes down, water goes up. And we're actually full on things. Okay. Okay. We can fix this too. We'll say go there first, go there second. No problemo. Do a little rewiring of water. So if anybody has issues with how pipes work, pipes obviously, you know, always work on priority. So when the water comes out of these tanks, it goes into this bridge. And this bridge basically says you go from here to here. So this is the priority. It will always go this way first. If it cannot go this way, right? Okay, just ignore that there's a pipe behind there. That doesn't really matter, right? Yeah, assume it's not there. If it cannot go this way, right? So you can see there's a little bit flowing through, right? It always jumps over and goes a little through. If it can't go here, it tries to go to the next possible outlet, right? Which is this one. So it says, you can't go here, try going here. And that's it. That's priority. We have something similar here. This is going to be a little more difficult to explain. But we were pumping water out of here, and we were saying that this priority was going into, it's kind of hard to say, but let's try to show this a little simpler. So what's happening here is I'm going to try to draw here. So the water's coming in from the right side, right? And then it's going out on the other side, right? That's the basics of just flow. Like this can be drawn the same way this way, right? Like this essentially is the same thing. This one just basically has like some priority in there. But let's say we have another pipe coming down, right? Like we have another one that's coming in here. And I could say, I want you to go somewhere as well, right? So we have water coming in through this line, and we have water coming in through this line. If I want to prioritize any of this and saying like, let's say I want to say, oh, I don't want to actually, I want you guys to actually build these. I'm trying to show something here. Back off, guys. So if I have a pipe coming down straight, and I want to say, I want to prioritize whatever the water is that's coming from this lane, right? So like if this is my main water source that I want to currently use, and then have this one as a secondary, right? So this is my secondary water that's coming in, and I only want to use this if for some reason this one is not there. Then I could put a bridge in here like that. And the reason why that works is when you have a pipe that's flowing from, let's say it flows from right to left, so it's going, sorry, it's going this way, I guess, right? So our flow is going this way, right? We assume that's an arrow. We're going this way, right? So I have a bridge, like a secondary line coming in like this, right? Then this line has priority, and this line can only add to it if there's empty packets here. And to make the whole thing a little cleaner, or well, not cleaner, but like looks simpler, is basically where you have your pipe going in here, you have your secondary coming in here, and then these ones are connected. That means this line has priority, and then this second one bridges onto that existing line, but it will only add it if this one does not provide liquid. That's what this does. It's hard to see because they're on top of each other, and obviously this one's not pumping anything, so it's naturally grabbing this line. And then there's another bridge that's not helping. So that's a bad one to look at. But here's another one, priority-wise, right? So the water tries to go into the water sieve for cleaning. If the polluted water cannot go into the sieve because it's backed up or something, then the secondary bridge takes it away and puts it in the thimble. Same thing here. Clean water from the sieve tries to go in the tank. If it cannot go in the tank, it will go to the secondary bridge and then basically go past. So just what we saw there. So this water couldn't go into the pipe, so it gets pumped somewhere else. And then we just, pump it out. Use it somewhere else. Okay, our heat transfer is not working as well as we want. This one is at least turning off some of the time now. So let's take a kind of look. So this time shift blade is 190, 140, 130, 120. Okay, so it is transferring, just not quite as much as we want it. Luckily, there's nothing stopping us from throwing more in. I'm just going to keep doubling it up. We should still have enough heat here. Yeah, we do. So this is still at about 700. Still going to 900, still going to 1,000. And left side is about 600 right now. Actually, the problem is not this. The problem is we're running out of steel. This is a much bigger issue here. We need to get the heat down into the water. Oh, water is condensating. We don't have steam in here. That's our problem. We're having too much heat coming in here. See, it's 180 now. Because we're not actually liquefying the water. This is a problem. But these plates should help it. So yeah, if anybody doesn't know what temp shift plates do, they basically heat up anything in the radius around them. So this temp shift plate basically touches these other 8 tiles, and it basically distributes the heat. So that's why if there's space, that's fine, because you know this one, for example, exchange heat with this tile and all the other 7 tiles plus this one, so all the 8 tiles surrounding it, and the same thing does this one. So it's kind of like a, you know, they basically transfer from one to another. So this one should be transferring downwards. And I will double this up, just because we need to get the heat down here. And then we'll do 1 out of obsidian if we can right there. And this one's going to touch this metal tile directly, which means it's going to do a direct transfer. But yeah, we need to get heat down here, like bad. And we don't have enough steam in here to actually do this. Yikes. I needed to put this up a long time ago. Yeah, we don't have enough steam in here to actually heat this place. Oh boy. Oh boy. Is this actually going to raise in temperature, or is it staying stable? I mean, there's a lot of water down here, so we need to heat this stuff up. I mean, I can think of another way to do it, but that's going to be a lot of steel. We're not heating this. It's too much water. Okay. We'll go with plan B. But first we got printables. I will not take a shovel that's out and about. I am sorry. We have shovels. They're basically just being groomed. We're not using them for anything yet, but they're there for when we want to start grooming them. Okay, so the steam turbine is actually helping us right now. It keeps a little bit of steam in here, but we're just gonna drag this down. We have enough steel for now. We're basically gonna take this down, and it's basically gonna transfer the heat down here, and it should help us there. This is, yeah, this one already went off. So we're gonna open this up. Actually, I really don't want to open this up. Well, we have Sweetles, so we should be fine. We have to kind of keep this in mind. Okay. So we have a bunch of naphtha in here. That's right. We have more naphtha too that we need here. Okay, let these guys get that done, and then we're good here. We do need to work on the water though. So we probably want something like a pump in here, and a sensor, at a minimum. So that I think puts us right here. So we put a pump here, and then leave a row for sensors, right? So something like this. And then we're gonna need more steel. Let me see if we can grab them. Yeah, okay, so we're going to be doing steel here in a second, I guess. Iron's still kind of running. So now this water should be evaporating, or turning back into steam. Because we're actually dragging the heat down, like all the way through here. Right, so this whole plate should get hotter. Yeah, it's 140, and all the water that's touching it is going to evaporate into steam. And then once we have steam again, this should be nicely distributed from right to left. Okay. So let's continue. Actually, we don't actually need the top connection anymore. So let's just rip this up. Close this up. Yeah, and the steam is pretty cold, so we could let it leak in here, and we're probably gonna do that while we built this, and we're gonna do that for a particular reason, because I don't want the polluted oxygen in there, and I don't want the polluted oxygen going anywhere else, because this is purely steam. Yeah, so all our water is good. We're back to about 30 kilograms of water. Okay, or of steam. Sorry. So let them finish this. I'm gonna put a quick. Can you reach that? We'll see in a second. So we're gonna fill this in. But this should be enough. We should have a pump here, and then have automation next to it, or have the pump here, whichever way, right? Obviously, I don't want to put that in yet. What did you just? You just built that through the tile? Are you kidding me? Oh, please tell me you're not. Okay, you're not taking this out of here. I was sweating there for a second. We should also look down here and see if we can continue this. Kind of like our side project, I guess. I do want to get this open for food. We are dipping on food, which is a big deal. Our digger, Bert. I'm sorry, Bert. I apologize, but I need you to take care of this. I can always shake him up. Throw him in the shaker. Okay, we're gonna close this up. And then we're going to go buildings. I'm going to open this up. So I'm just filling this in so that there can't be any polluted oxygen in here. Basically, you have two options, right? You can vacuum something out, or you can basically block it off. We're basically blocking it off. And then we're basically going to come in from this side. Which is fine, because there's steam in here, so, you know, less to worry about. So let's do... we can always do this from the outside after, right? So there's no harm here. But we should be pretty easily be able to come through here and then deal with this and kind of come up with a solution that will actually cool this. We will need some more steel for another steel aqua tuner. Actually, maybe we'll just be able to run the same line off of this. I'm actually curious if we could. So we'll open up this stuff. We're going to open all this stuff up. This is all steam. Obviously, there's going to be steam going into this place, but that's fine. You know, we can always put more water in here if we lose this here, but this should all be steam. Steam and water, nothing else. And then this thing can go off. It's gonna potentially overpressurize. Yeah, it's gonna be overpressurized. But it's fine. Okay, so we wanna do these tiles first. And then we're gonna do radiation piping. Alright, this is going to be our... Right, our pump's going to be right here. So we just need to skip that one. Right there. Yeah, the water just evaporated. Whatever water was down here just went poof. We deconstruct that. Actually, we should be able to deconstruct that too. We want to probably get some power cables up in here. Probably use lead. That should be fine. Just gonna drag a lead through there. The pump in here needs to be able to handle 100 and what, 110? 110, right? So we can't use copper. It's gonna be too hot. We can do steel or we can do gold amalgam, and I'm gonna do gold amalgam, even though I don't have a whole lot of it. But we're gonna use it anyways. And then we're gonna do something like this. I would kind of prefer if I can go up here, but let's see. Let's see how we do this. We might just do this temporarily. Do we care about this top? Oh, we're just gonna seal it up like that. It doesn't need one more tile to get up there. And this tile is really not needed. This one actually is. Automation wise, thermal sensor, hydro sensor. I'll put a hydro sensor down here. I prefer if the liquid was of a certain temperature before we pump it out. And I think that's fair. How do we make this work? I mean, we could like this, but it would look a little ugly. But I can't really put it anywhere else now, can I? And that doesn't, I mean, it still looks ugly. Yeah, it doesn't really matter which way. It's all gonna look ugly. I mean, there's really not much we can do here. It's just, you know, the way things are lined up. Alright, get all the materials out of there too. This ladder can go. So if the hydro sensor is above 500, and the thermal sensor, which we'll make out of lead, because we can. So yeah, the steam already went, right? So like, but we don't actually want to cool this until we have this sealed. And we'll show this in a second. Let's see, well it's pump when it's below 40 degrees. So we only want to pump water out if it's about 40 degrees. Now we seal this up. I think this is done, right? Oh, are you taking damage? Oh shit. Oh, right, because you're in a steam room. That's actually, okay, yeah, that's fair, that's fair, that's fair. That's fair. I'm sorry. It would have been fine in this room by itself because of what the steam vent does, but it's not fine because of like the other stuff we have going on, right? Which is obviously this. We also have to get the water out, and I want to pump the water out. Well, I can't go out of the bottom, so we're gonna go out of the top somewhere or something. We just need it out, right? Like I don't really care what we're gonna do with it. For now, we just need to, you know, get it going somewhere. Because we're not actually pumping it out yet. We just want to have the cable set up. We have the power set up, and we have the cable set up. And then we have basically like a cooling loop that's going through here. And then that's actually going to be a really strong cooling loop technically, so we're going to have to be a little mindful of that. We also want to put in a couple of temp shift plates here. just so that the steam can condense faster into water. Do the trifecta here. And then we can seal this up. And this is steel now. This one shouldn't matter. Melting point is 300. It's never gonna reach 300. Even in here, maybe over here it would reach 300, but over here it's not. Once it's separated and not part of the room anymore, it'll be fine anyways. Something's overheating. Okay, nothing that we care about. Shovel eggs. We will take the shovel eggs. And we just need to make sure that we sweep those like yesterday. Because that's more long-term food. And we might want to start considering setting up shovel wrench, to be honest. I mean, that's free food right there, and then I don't need to deal with any of this food at all, to be honest. That might not be the worst thing. We just need some continuous amounts of regolith. That's the problem for a while. So yeah, shovel farming is one of the best foods you could have anywhere. I kind of want to go in here and murder these two guys. We have a bunch of not so good water in here. Let's open this up too. But yeah, these guys need to die. Alright, let's get this done, and then we'll move on to the next part. Alright, this is done. Close it up. How's our heat over here? What are we at? 700? 700 C? Are you still... You're up in 6 seconds. Okay. Can I think of a way to cool this place? Okay, we got research. After 15 years later, we got some random research. Oh, I think it's because we set up the power over there, didn't we? Did we actually set... Yeah, we didn't set up power for this. No, we didn't set up power for this yet. Not sure what happened. Oh, something was happening. Oh, water. We were missing water. Right. Never got around to it. Totally forgot about it. Okay, well, let's finish this. Alright. This is done. We connect. Reconnect. We cut. Not like that. Cut like that. So now this 40-degree naphtha is going to come through here. And it's going to pick up heat, like a lot of heat. So now it's 120. But it's going to get cooled down again, which is fine. But this is going to basically, you know, 40-degree naphtha. And we're probably going to have to bridge on some naphtha now, to be honest. But luckily we still have some here. Because we basically made the loop a little longer. So now that the loop's a little longer, we kind of have to bridge on again. But what this will do is we'll basically take the steam that's actually in here and condense it into water. And this is going to take a while to actually calm down, but I think, yeah, we're just missing one bubble right there and there. So almost there, and then we can rip this chip apart again. 2 more and then we're good. Right there. Okay, now we can rip this apart again. See, and there's already like almost no steam left in here anymore. And we're already coming through at 70s again, and we're coming out at 80s. So the first run through was 120, and we already cooled it off enough. So now this basically, you know, it creates steam, but the steam shouldn't stay for long. And it shouldn't technically overpressurize ever. Yeah, it barely makes it to 2K. But yeah, so the water should be rising here. 180, 182. Going up in water. Now, obviously, this water's still 80, but give this aqua tuner a minute, and we'll get somewhere better. Hopefully. Obviously, we're going to heat this place here a little bit right now. The question is just, can this aqua tuner do both? Right? Can it do the steam turbines and this? That's really what it comes down to. Because this is 100C right now. Might be a little too much for it. Still coming out at 86.9, 87. Let me watch this for a minute. Because, yeah, I don't need my steam turbines to get that hot. I prefer if they don't. And we're still gaining. Okay, so now that the steam... now that this thing is not erupting, we're actually dropping. But are we dropping enough between the iterations that it's actually worth it, right? Okay, so we'll keep an eye on this. We're at 85.6, and this one's going off at 0.2 cycles again. We do need to consider what we're going to do with the water once it gets to certain points. And it shouldn't pump it out until it's at like down to 40, so that's kind of like our limiting factor that we have it at right now. Plus, it doesn't have power. But the question is, can we drive this down fast enough? That's really the question. As for here, 4 cycles, we're still fine there. We dug this out. Okay, that's good. We need to make some room down here, though. Let's just tear this apart. Can we get over there? We can, if they dig that one up, we can. So now they should be able to, no, they can't jump over there. Let's measure this, there we go. Let's rip some more of this stuff apart. Make some room for this. I don't have enough room up here in my tank for this, do I? I don't. We need to start thinking about infinite storage for that. I don't really want to, because then that means I gotta pump all this stuff too. Oh boy. Alright, so it's going off again. 83.1. Is it stable? Is it cooling? And can we cool this faster? I mean, I would like to use this water, right? That's really the idea. But also the other question is, if we're just going to do shovel ranching for food, we won't need the water for food. We would still need the water for probably power or something like that, but not for food. But in order to do shovel ranching, we actually need space materials, and yeah, in order to do that, we kind of need to keep going on the steel and the iron. But in order to make this a little more efficient, I think we need more naphtha over here. Because this thing, I think, only has enough naphtha for one run. 400 kilos and a little extra, yeah. So let's see if we can get some more naphtha in here. Oh, we're actually melting over here. Okay, this is going to be the last bottle, and I think we're going to be a little over. But that's okay, the naphtha can just kind of like sit a little bit. We'll see how far it goes. See how far it goes. I mean, it looks like we got it all in, or almost. It's kind of hard to say when you guys are working on it, okay? I mean, I appreciate what you're doing, but I need you to... I just need to see how much naphtha is actually in the pipes. And I can only see that when you guys are not. Okay, so... It's... Okay, so it's actually perfect, because it's... I want to make sure it doesn't stay in here, because then the naphtha would freeze, right? And we don't want it to freeze. That was the problem, right? We don't want the naphtha to sit in like a cold tile where it can actually freeze. So we're good there. So we're gonna do a little dig up here. We're gonna dig up this one. Carbon dioxide down here is not really worth that much. We're gonna dig this up. We're gonna dig that up. We're gonna get a lot of water. That's fine. I don't think that's hurting us. No. We have plenty of aluminum. We should have enough aluminum nearby too to basically do this. We're basically just extending the heat so that the heat can be drawn from farther. This is actually, yeah, because it's not really touching anything, it's touching a little bit of hydrogen. Right, so now that we're extending this, it can actually draw from farther. And now it's going to be cooling it again. So I'm going to close this up again. No, not yet. Still need one more fan. Actually, let's do two. Burn the bolts. I'll take the Sweetles, because I think we're going to be switching over to sulfur soon, if we can. We're going to need probably a steam turbine here, but first we need to get some of this liquid out. Oh, which is going to be such a pain in the ass, right? Okay, we're going to reuse this line. We're going to keep using this line. We're going to use this line. This line's fine. Do it there. Put it there. Actually, we say we bridge this on. Right here. We need to put hydro sensor. Okay, we're gonna do a little security here, just a little bit. Do we have the hammer? We do have the hammer. I mean the automator. I want to put a hydro sensor up there to let me know if we hit that marker. Because we're going to be pumping this shit out. I just want to make sure that we don't overflow our tank up there. This is good, and this is all going up here, right? Yeah. This gets above 100. Yeah, if this hits 100 kilos, the water gets there, then we're about full on the storage, and we need to stop this from doing stuff. Bring this over. It's ugly, but you know what? It's okay. We just need to get there somehow. We need to get this cleaned out. What can we do here? Can we just rip this all up? Technically we can, right? Nothing really stops us. How much syngas is in here? 13 kilos? Yikes. Okay. Well, let the syngas out, I guess. Where's it gonna go? This is one of those like overpressure moments where you're just like, alright, how much damage is this going to do? Okay. How are we doing here? Pretty cold. We're gonna blow up here in a second. We have water going. What's our temp at? 80. So it's not really keeping up with this. But I'm assuming these are getting pretty hot. 60. Okay. So we could... Do we get enough steel? That's the question. We could put another aquatuner in, right? Let's do it. Hey, Santi, what's up? Welcome to the fun. How are you doing tonight? I'm still recovering from COVID, so I'm on my day 6. So fair warning, I do a little bit of coughing still. And how you been? Been doing any streaming lately? I need a sensor for my pipes. And I would like that to live right there. Yeah, I think somebody that was buying some of our things, somebody that must have came by our house or something. Probably like, I don't know, I would say 8, it must have been more than 8 days, 8, 9 days ago or something. Basically got my wife sick, and she tested positive, and then I was very careful for a couple of days, but eventually got me too, so. You just hit out oil biome. Alright. 5 reservoirs. That is a lot of power. That is a lot of power. The real question is, do you run it through a petroleum boiler? Or do you just run it for petroleum generators? Because you know what's really powerful is a petroleum boiler that, you know, if you can, right? If you can do a petroleum boiler. And basically boil the crude with like magma power or something like that. That's super powerful. Because then the whole process becomes water positive too. So then you get, I'm trying to remember what it was. Oh, we just lost power. What? Hold on. What's going on here? You guys not have enough heat anymore? Oh yeah. We're not getting the heat here. But yeah, if you're on a petroleum boiler, man, there you go. There you go. It's like, free power, free water, free everything. Alright, so we got this. I think we got this pretty much ready. We're just waiting for this thing to set up. And I think we're just going to copy this to 40. Radiation vomiting. Son, why are you radiation vomiting? Oh, because you've been digging down here. Okay, you know what? You know what? Your radiation vomiting is totally legit. And you boil off the polluted water for dirt. There you go. There you go. I actually stole a build from, and I call it stole because you know I didn't come up with it myself. From I think I want to say it was Nathan's Sandbox. I don't know if you know who that is, but he did